With all the time that I spend in my shop, I like to have things looking neat and organized. I started out with a piece of sheet metal and laid out all the components in the configuration that I wanted. I made the mounting holes 16 inches on center. That way it could fit between the studs, and all the components would neatly sit inside the wall cavity. The gauge on the left is tank pressure. The gauge on the right is controlled by the regulator below and indicates the regulated pressure. The switch on the left controls the power to the air compressor. The switch on the right controls the air coming up from the basement. On the far right are two quick connect couplings. My next video is going to be a custom work cart with a very similar air compressor station built right in. Above the air compressor station is a tray to hold accessories such as a blowgun, tire gauge, and an oil separator that I don't think I've ever used. Above the accessory tray is a hose reel that can be unplugged when not in use. I have my air compressor located in the basement to cut down on any noise. Here is the electric solenoid I have plumbed in to control the air pressure. The electric solenoid is wired to an outlet, which is controlled by the switch on the right upstairs. The air compressor always sits in auto mode. The compressor's 220 volt line runs to an outlet, which is controlled by the switch on the left upstairs. The first thing plumbed directly out of the air compressor is a ball valve. It acts as a manual shutoff in case anything were to go wrong with the system. I always leave it open. You can also see on the solenoid that there's a red override button if you need to operate the solenoid manually. The air line coming out of the solenoid is routed into the floor and then up the wall and then is behind the air compressor station in the shop. Even though I've had this air compressor for a few years, it still sits on this shipping pallet that it came on. In case any of you are wondering, it's a 60-gallon Sanborn air compressor. Make sure to tune in next week where I'm going to be building a custom work cart. It's going to have an integrated air compressor and a miniature version of this air compressor station. In that video, I'll go into greater detail as far as the components and the assembly. As always, thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe.